1.4 million illegal aliens who are currently improperly receiving Medicaid benefits will be kicked off the program to preserve it for hardworking American citizens who need it.
So I'm a doctor that takes care of Medicaid patients and undocumented immigrants, and what Karoline Leavitt is saying is absolutely wrong. Now, whether that's because she's outright lying to you or she's just very confused and doesn't know how Medicaid works, I'll let you decide. But no, undocumented immigrants can't receive federal Medicaid benefits because they're ineligible. They don't have a Social Security number, so I don't know what she's talking about. Now, states do offer something known as emergency Medicaid to low-income and uninsured folks, including undocumented people, but that's always been the case. Emergency Medicaid has always covered undocumented people, and this is just catastrophic insurance, meaning like you are so sick, you have a disease so profound that without medical attention, you will die. It doesn't offer long-term care, it doesn't offer general wellness visits, it doesn't offer chronic disease management or prescription drugs or imaging or anything else. It's just for emergencies, as the name would suggest. Now, some states, I believe it's 14 plus the District of Columbia, do offer expanded programs for undocumented folks, but those are paid for with state funds, not federal funds. You know, y'all are about states' rights, right? And what the big, beautiful bill does is it threatens those states. It says we're going to withhold Medicaid funding from your state if you don't end those programs. And it's going to do nothing to boot immigrants off of Medicaid, because remember, they're not on Medicaid. What it's going to do is it's going to restrict federal Medicaid funding to those states, and they hope that those states are going to say, they're going to look at their ledgers and their balances and say, you know what, we can't afford to keep these programs for the immigrants, so we're going to just end them and do whatever the federal government wants. So what is the end game here, Karoline and MAGA as a whole? Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? And don't say it's, we're just trying to get Americans health care, because you're not, because the big, beautiful bill is also going to boot 13 million Americans off of Medicaid. And anytime anyone ever mentions something like universal health care, y'all shriek socialism. So let's stop pretending like you give a shit about Americans' health care. So what is it? Is the cruelty here the point? Is your hatred for immigrants that profound that you want them to die? Is being undocumented and sick in this country a crime, according to you, punishable by death? Do you want their bodies to just pile up outside of emergency rooms as we have to deny them care? And sorry if I sound a little pissed off about this, it's because I am. Because as a doctor, I take care of these people. These people are my patients that you're talking about. They're human beings with their own hopes and dreams and fears. Like, I get to know them and their families, and just like anyone else who's in the hospital, they're scared. They don't know what's going to happen. Is the cruelty the point here? And maybe it's because you don't view them as human beings. You view them through this lens of this rhetoric that you always spew, this hateful, xenophobic, racist rhetoric, and it makes you think of these people as subhuman, so it's easier for you to say heinous, hateful shit like this. But I don't know. It's just really bizarre coming from the pro-Christian, pro-life movement, because there's nothing Christ-like or pro-life about this. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a pro-choice atheist, but